Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Hosting Cruz, and Jake Paul, El Gallo del Dorado, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is the top son. Yes, sir. Is officially ranked in the WBA at number 14. So he's officially a highly ranked fighter and contender. Jake Paul, I remember when he burst on the scene during COVID in 2020, and he was boxing Nate Robinson and put him out with an overhand right, put him to sleep face first. Unique of its kind, you know, a boxer versus a celebrity. But at the time, Jake Paul was a celebrity. He was famous off of YouTube. And that was on the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones card. Something different, something cool. Remember, during COVID, we all needed something to watch. People were doing all kinds of things to entertain us. Strange time, you know. A lot of sports being done without fans. So Jake Paul was a part of that product. But as time went along, Jake Paul kept fighting, kept stepping in there. When you come to see, he's fighting Tyron Woodley twice, Ben Askren, Anderson Silva, Mike Tyson, and now Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Even Tommy Fury, which he lost by split decision, which is the last time he fought someone his age, and you know, a guy a young fighter. Everyone I mentioned prior to Tommy Fury were all old, aging fighters. Tyron Woodley, no boxing, just MMA, straight out of the UFC, former UFC champion. Ben Askren, former UFC fighter, grappler. Anderson Silva, one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, was coming off a win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., outboxing Julio for 8 rounds. So he was able to do that. You know, he was coming off that win over Julio, and that took him into the fight with Jake Paul. But Jake Paul, of course, put a beating on him, and of course, no one to give him credit. Even Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson went in there, one leg, 59 years old, 58. No credit. A lot of people don't give Jake Paul no credit. So much that they believe all his fights are fake. I said that in my last video about Jake Paul after he beat Julio. So he's currently ranked at number 14 by the WBA, 12-1, 7 KOs. This is what Jake Paul's wanted. He said it, that he wants to take the sport serious, and he has taken it serious in terms of sharpening his craft. Because when he started, he did not look like how he looks today. How he looks today he did not look like that when he started back in 2020, 5 years ago. So far he's had a 5-year pro career. Time flies. Jake Paul finally gets his wish, what he wants, and he said he wants to take this. He wants this sport serious. He wants to become a world champion, fight the best, and now he has the opportunity. The organization is actually taking Jake Paul serious and ranked him at number 14 at cruiserweight. I asked myself on social media. I asked social media, how do you guys see Jake Paul matched up against the champions? I mean, me now, personally, Jake Paul has a nice jab, has developed the basic fundamentals that he has. Nice 1-2s, nice jab, move out of the way, keep your hands up. Just simple boxing, but effective. And he's looked good doing that. He has nice power too with that overhand right. Jake Paul The only issue I have with Jake Paul fighting any elite fighters and champions is that he runs out of gas. He does these 8-rounders and 10-rounders, and when he's getting into the championship rounds, what you call them, the last 2 rounds. If it's an 8-rounder, he's in the 7th, gasping for air. If it's a 10-rounder, he's in the 8th round, 9th round, gasping for air. So he fades. He cannot, now that he's a ranked fighter and needs to be taken serious, he cannot afford to gas out against these top fighters and champions, because Zurdo Ramirez will eat him alive. Jai Opataya, the IBF Cruiserweight Champion, will eat him alive. And Zurdo Ramirez, he's also the WBA, WBO Unified Champion. So, and Badou Jack. And the crazy thing about it, Badou Jack, is he's 41 years old. He's 41, but he fights 31. I mean, Jake Paul will have a hard time with him. And these are the kind of guys like Badou Jack, Jake Paul's been fighting. You know, guys over the hill, over the prime, 40s. Jack is in his 40s, but he's a Jack that you don't want to mess with. I wouldn't recommend that fight for Jake Paul at all. I mean, kudos to Jake Paul if he takes on any of the world champions, because, you know, that's a massive step. He's ranked number 14, so this is the reality here. Jake Paul is in line for a world title shot. This is what he wanted. He wanted to take sports serious. He wanted to become world champion. Well, this is his opportunity. The question is, when he gets the opportunity, what's going to happen? How will Jake Paul match up against the champions and top contenders? I don't know what we can expect, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, interesting news, ladies and gentlemen. Jake Paul, 12-1, 7 knockouts. Originally from Cleveland, Ohio, currently lives and fights out of Dorado, Puerto Rico. Has done tremendous things for Puerto Rican boxing, opening up all kinds of gyms in Puerto Rico and making Amanda Serrano a rich woman, well deservedly, you know, who is going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. One of the greatest fighters, not only women's fighters in boxing, to put on a pair of gloves. For Jake Paul to choose Amanda Serrano and make her a rich woman, someone money, and, you know, did a huge favor from that. Amanda was fighting for chump change, pocket money, before Jake Paul burst on the scene. So I always give Jake Paul his credit for that. Now, when it comes to fighting the world champions and contender, being ranked number 14, I don't know about that. I mean, Jake Paul, it would be cool and crazy to see Jake Paul go in there and beat a world champion and actually become world champion. Beat a Zurdo, beat a Opataya, beat a Badou Jack. And he's got it. He can box with these guys. He's got a nice jab, good hand right, good right hand, punching power, good fundamentals. And he's sharpening his craft. He's taking it serious. Jake Paul has been in the gym and working. But the reality, you know, we're so caught up with the 12-1 record that he has, beating old fighters and aging vets and never put on a pair of boxing gloves ever in their life. And now that he's ranked 14, you know, he beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You know, of course, like I said, over the hill, 39. Let his hands go in the last 2 rounds. Should have done it earlier, but it was what it was. Jake Paul banked the earlier rounds and the rest of the rounds, and the results were final. So let me know what you guys think about Jake Paul, man. How does he match up against the champions? Know that he's ranked WBA by the WBA at number 14. So he's going to be fighting not only world champion, but contenders. Top 10, top 5. We'll see who actually steps up and fight Jake Paul. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jose Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.